Remember that chills down your spine feeling when you first heard stories of dragons breathing fire or monstrous sea serpents dragging ships into the abyss? What if we told you those tales might not be just fairy tales? That behind every legendary beast, there's a fossil, a species, or a shadow of truth. Humans have always crafted monsters to explain the unknown, to instill awe, to tell stories that would be remembered for generations. But what if those monsters weren't entirely imaginary? In this journey, we're peeling back the scales, feathers, and myths to uncover the truth. These legendary creatures, dragons, unicorns, the Kraken, may have real-world inspirations that walked, swam, or soared through ancient Earth. This isn't just mythology. This is science, legend, and the ancient whispers of forgotten beasts. Chapter 1. The Dragon's Curse, Bones That Breathed Fire. For centuries, dragons have haunted the edges of every map. Here be dragons, they warned, beasts with wings vast as sails, claws like spears, and a hunger for gold and destruction. But here's the twist. Dragons exist in nearly every ancient culture. In Europe, they were winged, fire-breathing monsters, hoarders of treasure. In China, dragons symbolized wisdom and were bringers of rain, long and serpent-like without wings. How could such similar beasts be imagined by people oceans apart? Long before paleontology was a science, humans stumbled upon massive dinosaur bones. Gigantic ribs, long femurs, towering skulls, but no knowledge of extinction or evolution. What could they conclude? In China, dinosaur bones were ground into powders as dragon bones, believed to cure ailments. In ancient Europe, shepherds and monks uncovered fossilized skulls and tried to imagine what terrifying beast they belonged to. And from those skulls, the image of the dragon was born. Take the Protoceratops, discovered in Mongolia's Gobi Desert. This dinosaur had a sharp beaked face and a frill that, to an untrained eye, looked like wings. Add a few imaginative touches, you've got yourself a griffin or a dragon. And that fire-breathing part, possibly from volcanic legends or just metaphor for their feared power. What's undeniable is this: ancient humans found real bones, and their minds created legends that still grip our imagination today. Chapter 2. The Phoenix, Fire, Death, and Eternal Return. From Egyptian scrolls to Greek poetry, the phoenix rises, a golden red bird that dies in flames only to be born anew from its own ashes. It's one of the most poetic symbols in mythology, life, death, and rebirth in eternal loop. But where did this story come from? Some scholars believe the legend stems from the Bennu bird in ancient Egyptian myth, a heron-like creature connected to the sun god Ra. The bird was said to rise with the sun and represent regeneration. Meanwhile, in India, the Garuda, a divine bird, could fly faster than the wind and bore fiery energy. Yet the most intriguing link may come from real birds, observed by ancient people, such as the flamingo, known for its stunning red plumage and nesting behaviors near geothermal springs in Africa. Early observers might have witnessed flocks seemingly emerging from smoke or heated waters. Others point to the Hotsin in South America, a bizarre bird with claws on its wings as a chick, giving it a primitive, almost mythological look. While not a phoenix, it's a reminder that nature can create beings stranger than fiction. In a world of burning suns, shifting seasons, and life cycles, the phoenix became a powerful metaphor, and perhaps a real bird draped in myth and firelight. Chapter 3. The Unicorn, Horned Truths and Twisted Tales. Ah, the unicorn, a shimmering white horse, pure as snow, crowned with a spiraled horn, a symbol of innocence, grace, and power. But unlike other creatures, the unicorn was once believed to be very real. Ancient scholars like Pliny the Elder described it as a wild beast of incredible speed, unable to be tamed. Medieval bestiaries included unicorns as part of the known animal kingdom. But here's the twist. The unicorn might be a narwhal. In medieval Europe, traders sold narwhal tusks, long spiral-shaped ivory, claiming they were unicorn horns. These tusks were incredibly rare and valued, believed to detect poison and cure illness. The Inuit people of the Arctic had long known the narwhal, a whale with a single spiral tooth that grows out of its head like a horn. But to a European court that had never seen the Arctic, that horn was magical. Other candidates include the Indian rhinoceros, with a single horn and a fierce, untamable nature. The oryx, an antelope whose twin horns appear as one from certain angles. And of course, imagination filled in the rest, the grace of a horse, the purity of white, the divine symbolism. The unicorn may never have galloped through medieval forests, but its legend was real enough to be documented as fact for centuries. Chapter 4. The Kraken, Terror from the Deep. Imagine being a sailor in the 13th century, navigating uncharted oceans, when suddenly the sea begins to boil. Towering tentacles rise. A monstrous beak cracks your ship in half. This wasn't fiction. This was the Kraken, a beast whispered about by Viking sailors, feared across Nordic coasts. But in truth, the Kraken may have been real. The likely culprit? The giant squid, a real animal that can grow up to 40 feet long, with eyes the size of dinner plates and tentacles that leave suction scars on sperm whales. For centuries, scientists dismissed tales of giant squids as nonsense. But in the 2000s, deep-sea footage confirmed their existence. Even more terrifying, they still remain largely unobserved in the wild. Sailors who saw dead squids or battled them at sea may have exaggerated, but their stories weren't fiction. They were first-hand accounts, distorted by fear, retold by candlelight, and passed through generations. And the Kraken? It became the ultimate maritime nightmare, a real creature shrouded in monstrous mystery. Chapter 5. The Leviathan, Serpent of the Abyss. In the depths of ancient scripture and myth slithers the Leviathan, a sea serpent so vast it could crush ships, belch fire, and battle angels. Mentioned in the Book of Job and Jewish folklore, the Leviathan represented chaos, the untamable force of the ocean, the embodiment of evil in physical form. But again, was this creature all fiction? Many scholars believe the Leviathan was inspired by real marine predators. Massive whales, breaching and blowing columns of water, looking like fire-breathing giants from afar. Gigantic oarfish, ribbon-like creatures that can reach 36 feet in length, often mistaken for sea serpents. The mosasaur, a prehistoric aquatic reptile that ruled the seas during the late Cretaceous. Some fossils were found near the Mediterranean, where many Leviathan tales originated. Leviathan might also represent the primal fear of the deep, a fear of what dwelled beneath when the sea was still largely unexplored, mysterious and deadly. Today, the Leviathan lives on, not just in theology, but in our collective imagination, a symbol of nature's raw power and how little we truly know about our own oceans. Why we still believe the legacy of mythical beasts. Why do these creatures endure, even in the age of satellites and science? Because mythical beasts serve a purpose. They give form to our fears, faces to our questions, and voices to the unknown. They teach lessons. They warn of danger. They stir the soul. Modern sightings of cryptids like Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster prove we still want to believe. There's something beautiful in imagining that magic, or at least mystery, still exists in our world. And sometimes the truth is even stranger. than the myth. From fossils misidentified as dragons, to narwhals passed off as unicorns, to giant squid once thought to be Kraken gods, the line between myth and reality is thinner than we think. Maybe the monsters never left. Maybe they were real all along, flesh and bone, tooth and claw, buried beneath layers of earth and legend, waiting for us to uncover them. If you're fascinated by the blurry line between legend and science, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your favorite mythical beast in the comments. Who knows? Next time we might uncover your favorite monster and the chilling truth behind it.